Sometimes the quietest characters make the loudest impact, and in Landman, one overlooked name might just be Sheridan's next secret weapon. In a show packed with oil tycoons, corporate clashes, and political power plays, Cooper Norris has been simmering just beneath the surface. But if you think Taylor Sheridan introduced him without a long game in mind, think again. As Season 2 begins to unfold, all signs point to something much bigger brewing for Cooper and possibly a devastating clash with Tommy Norris. Today, we're diving into the real reason this so-called forgotten character might actually be the key to everything. From unresolved family drama to potential betrayal and breakout stardom, we're cracking open what could be Sheridan's most explosive slow burn yet. Why Cooper Norris's arc was overshadowed in Season 1 and why that's about to change. In a cast dominated by industry heavyweights and high-octane drama, Cooper Norris slipped through the cracks of Landman Season 1 like an unfinished verse in a country ballad. While viewers were consumed with Tommy Norris's internal battles and the oilfield chaos swirling around him, Cooper's quiet presence was easy to miss, but that may have been intentional. Played with understated grit by Jacob Lofland, Cooper was positioned as more of a symbol than a storyline. The estranged son, the unresolved chapter, the shadow of Tommy's past. And that lack of resolution, that's exactly what makes him so valuable going forward. Taylor Sheridan has a habit of burying seeds early, only to let them bloom explosively when you least expect it. Cooper represents one of those narrative seeds, a slow burn character whose impact could dwarf even the most fiery leads. Season 2 is rumored to dig deeper into family legacies, generational divides, and moral reckonings, fertile ground for someone like Cooper to rise from forgotten footnote to emotional anchor. His strained relationship with his father, combined with his outsider status in the oil empire, positions him perfectly to challenge not just Tommy, but the entire ethos of Landman. There's also a raw, untapped vulnerability in Cooper that contrasts sharply with the hardened pragmatism of the older characters. That tension, the dreamer versus the doer, the past versus the present, could be the show's most compelling narrative thread yet. In a world where power often speaks loudest, Cooper may just be the quiet voice that changes everything. Season 1 sidelined him. Season 2 might make him the reason we're still watching. The father-son rift, unresolved tension between Tommy and Cooper could explode in Season 2. The father-son dynamic between Tommy and Cooper Norris was barely scratched in Landman Season 1, but make no mistake, it's a ticking time bomb just waiting to blow. What we've seen so far hints at a deep fracture built on years of resentment, absence, and unspoken guilt. Tommy, consumed by the demands of the oil industry and his own demons, seems incapable of confronting the emotional wreckage left in his wake. Cooper, on the other hand, wears that damage like armor, guarded, bitter, but still unmistakably searching for something real from the man who left him in the dust. Season 2 could finally bring this volatile relationship front and center, and it won't be pretty. With Tommy facing external pressures from corporate enemies and shifting alliances, the last thing he needs is his estranged son showing up with a chip on his shoulder and something to prove. But that's exactly what makes it compelling. Cooper's return could unravel Tommy in ways no boardroom betrayal ever could. And if Sheridan leans into that raw emotional tension, we're not just getting father-son drama, we're getting the kind of explosive reckoning that could redefine the show. What's most interesting isn't just if they'll reconcile, but how the confrontation will reshape everything around them. Will Tommy try to make amends or double down on his hardened persona? Will Cooper become a threat to his father's empire or the unexpected conscience of it? This isn't just family tension, it's the emotional powder keg that could fuel Landman's most gripping storyline yet. Taylor Sheridan's hidden pattern, why he always saves these characters for later. Taylor Sheridan is a master of the slow burn, and nowhere is that more apparent than in how he handles certain characters. In Landman, just like in Yellowstone in 1883, he's been quietly laying the groundwork for characters who seem sidelined at first, only to explode with importance when the story needs them most. It's not lazy writing, it's deliberate. Sheridan has a signature pattern. He lets the loudest voices dominate early while keeping a few key players simmering under the surface. And when he finally lets those characters loose, they shift the entire balance of power. Characters like Cooper Norris fit that mold perfectly. He's not just a side note in Tommy's story, he is the story Sheridan hasn't fully told yet. This isn't the first time he's done this. Think about how Beth Dutton didn't become the emotional centerpiece of Yellowstone until midway through, or how Spencer Dutton in 1923 spent half a season off screen only to return and carry the series. Sheridan loves to hide impact players in plain sight, then weaponize them later when the stakes are highest. It's a narrative sleight of hand that keeps his worlds unpredictable. So if you're wondering why certain characters feel underused in Season 1, you might want to look a little closer. Because if history is any indication, Sheridan is saving the most explosive arcs for last, and it's the quiet ones, the overlooked ones, that tend to bring the storm. Cooper Norris isn't forgotten, he's being loaded like a bullet into the chamber, and when Sheridan pulls that trigger, everything in Landman could change. How Jacob Laughlin could quietly become Landman's breakout star. Jacob Laughlin may not have the big-name recognition of Billy Bob Thornton, or the screen-dominating swagger of other Landman leads, but don't underestimate him because that's exactly how breakout stars are born. With his portrayal of Cooper Norris, Laughlin brings something that's been missing from the explosive, testosterone-fueled world of oil politics: subtlety. His quiet intensity, emotional restraint, and the lingering sense that he's holding back something deeper make him a standout in a cast full of scene stealers. It's not loud, it's not flashy, but it's dangerously good. In fact, Laughlin's greatest weapon might be the very thing that's kept him under the radar: restraint. Taylor Sheridan has always gravitated toward actors who can communicate volumes with a single glance, who can deliver emotional weight without saying a word. Think Gil Birmingham in Yellowstone or Isabel May in 1883. Laughlin fits right into that mold. If Landman Season 2 dives into Cooper's fractured relationship with Tommy or reveals more of his backstory, Laughlin will finally get the kind of layered material that could push him from supporting player to emotional anchor. And here's the twist: sometimes the breakout star isn't the one who shows up guns blazing. It's the one who makes you lean in. Laughlin's performance has that quiet gravity, and if Season 2 gives him room to breathe, he could easily walk away as the most talked about actor in the show. In a series packed with loud voices and big moves, Jacob Laughlin might just steal the spotlight by doing what he does best: saying less and making it mean more. Is Season 2 setting Cooper up to clash with Tommy's character? It's the showdown nobody saw coming yet. It might be exactly what Landman Season 2 is building toward. On the surface, Cooper Norris and Tommy Norris may seem like they're destined for reconciliation. But dig a little deeper and you'll see the signs of a collision course. There's an undercurrent of generational tension, moral divergence, and unhealed emotional wounds that could turn this father-son dynamic into the series' most volatile rivalry. Sheridan doesn't do tidy family reunions, he crafts psychological battlegrounds, and this one is loaded with ammo. Cooper's disillusionment with the oil world, paired with Tommy's increasingly compromised alliances, sets the stage for an ideological war as much as a personal one, as Cooper begins to question the cost of the empire his father built. It's not hard to imagine him standing in direct opposition to it. Whether he's drawn into activism, whistleblowing, or even corporate sabotage, Cooper's potential rebellion isn't just about daddy issues, it's about rewriting the future of the very industry Landman revolves around, and that puts him directly in Tommy's crosshairs. What makes the possibility so compelling is how layered it would be. This isn't good versus evil, it's legacy versus conscience, loyalty versus truth. If Sheridan leans into this tension, Cooper won't just challenge his father, he'll challenge the very foundation of the series. And let's be real, Thornton versus Laughlin? That's a heavyweight acting matchup just waiting to happen. If this is the path Season 2 takes, Landman could deliver one of the most emotionally charged confrontations in the Sheridan-verse. In the Sheridan universe, nothing is ever as simple as it seems, especially when a character has been lurking in the margins. If Cooper Norris really is being teed up to confront the empire his father helped build, we may be witnessing the rise of Landman's most important arc yet. And if Jacob Laughlin delivers the emotional gut punch we think he's capable of, don't be surprised when he steals every scene he's in. The question now isn't whether Cooper will matter, it's how deep his story will cut. So stay locked in, because when Sheridan plays the long game, it always pays off big, and this time the stakes feel personal.